We have essentially rewards of economic development, other issues at the coast, investments. We have a misalignment of rewards, risks, responsibilities, and last of all, resources. That really right now, we can't align those things properly. The people that are at risk and exposed don't necessarily get the benefits from the rewards. So we really have to figure out, I think, a little bit about how we really think about realigning those things in a way that will prepare us for the next storm. It's the title is, can we afford the next storm? I actually think that's not a hard answer. No, we can't. But how can we better afford it? And how can we better afford it from the sense of really how we are more prepared for that next storm, I think is really the focus that we're going to talk about today. The consensus is that we are going to have more intense storms.
To run away from taxing like it's the end of the world. You know, years ago when I was in the legislature, the Commissioner of Transportation came to see me and said, look, you have two major projects. At the time I represented Toms River and Brick. You want to dualize Route 37 in Toms River West part. You want to dualize Route 70 in Lakewood and Brick. We need to have a tax on gasoline. If you'll support that, those projects can go forward. So I did support it. And by the way, they're both dualized today. Now, you're right. It's not easy to vote for a gas tax, especially when I come from an area that represents people that need their cars. But at some point, you've got to start to do something to change what happens. And I'm really saying to you is, not having a permanent funding source. We've got to go back to the feds right now and say, we don't have enough money. We didn't do it right. You didn't learn enough from Katrina. They learned a lot of things from Katrina that they try to put here. It's different area of the country, different problems facing it. And you're right, in Katrina, people took the money, ran away, never fixed the houses. No question about it, you have to have that type of check and balances here. But you've got to provide factors when people get $30,000 and said, okay, go fix your house, got a limited amount of money, what about that stopgap? Where do we help those people? And the answer is, if we go back to the federal government right now, we've got to go through both houses of Congress, signed by the president to get more money. It's just not going to happen. And as I said, there's still thousands of people out of their homes or living in their second floor of their homes. And it has not changed, and it's not getting better. We're not making the changes we have to make to prepare for the future. And unfortunately, I wish I could say it's never going to happen again. But the chance of it never happening again are slight. And the answer is we got fat for a lot of years because we didn't have big storms and we didn't have problems. And if you want to know, just take a look at the future. Take a look at what's just happened down south this last 2 weeks with the ice storms and everything else like that. Unheard of, don't know how to handle it, weren't prepared for it. And even when they saw what happened in Georgia, other states didn't prepare and they had the same problem.
We've had 11 presidential disaster declarations in 9 years. So it's not just Sandy. Sandy's the worst and the most recent one, but we've had 10 other events since 2004. But we should get it now. We should understand. We are very flood prone. I mean, we shouldn't need another event. We shouldn't be doing case studies and pilots right now. We should get right into this. We know we're vulnerable. All the statistics say it. The national statistics show us we're very vulnerable. We need to do things. We need to start adapting to what we're experiencing. Why is pre-disaster mitigation really important? Well, you know, after we have an event like Sandy, there's mitigation money made available, but that's after a disaster. We'd like to do some things before a disaster to basically make ourselves more resilient, to make ourselves more, you know, that we have less downtime for businesses and people after an event. If we're in better shape beforehand, we're going to weather the storm better. But we have ways of doing things better. There are techniques, there are things. It's going to take money though, and that's important. It's going to take dedicated resources. It's going to take foresight. And we're not going to have to wait till the 12th event that we have in 9 or 10 years. We have to do it now.
If you don't do it with new money, it's not going to happen. Right. In this economic times, you can't say to them, just make it a line item. You heard where a line item has been knocked out for 2 years? That will happen to anything unless it's a new source of money. So whether we like it or not, whether we want to do it or not, there has to be a new source of money. Congress, that's your job to find the new source. When it comes to the state, that becomes my job. Get off your duff and find it.
Good morning. My name is Steve McGovern from Mac Pouring and Parts Company. And I hear everything you're saying there, and Senator Singer, thank you very much for being blunt and honest. I appreciate that. We need more business people working with you all. In business, we have to deal with logic, common sense, and facts. The politics in this state and this country is killing us. We all see it. Every business person in here has to deal with facts and logic and come up with solutions every single day. I have to feed 85 families a week, and we have to come up with solutions all the time. So I would encourage you to get more business people involved. And if I get involved, I want to make decisions and get things rolling.
Absolutely.
This isn't rocket science. It's all just common sense. So if I can help out, be happy to help out, but people better get out of the way. Maybe get all those politicians out of the way and bring in a bunch of business people, and you watch how fast we can turn this around.